This video is part of Mixtures and Solutions, and we're going to look at water filtration. So we actually need to start off making some water with things to filter. We're really fortunate here in Nova Scotia. Most of our drinking water is really high quality. So we need to make some dirty water. So I've got a jug of tap water, and I'm going to add some green food coloring and some dish soap. Good glug there. And finally some soil from the garden. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got dirt, it's got bits of pine needle, and maybe even some bugs, some bits of leaves. So we're going to add that in. Carefully. Oh, I think there's even some rocks in there. So we'll add in some dirt. That looks like plenty. And we'll give it a stir. And we'll let things get to know each other. So we're going to let that sit for a bit. And that is what we're going to use to with our filtration experiment. Next we'll look at our filtering material. What I've done is I've taken a 2-liter pop bottle and cut it in half, and taken some cheesecloth and used an elastic band to hold it on the end. This is just to kind of keep everything inside. We'll do a control with just our cheesecloth end there, but we're also going to test out some cotton fluff, beach or sand. If you can get beach sand, that's great. Otherwise you need to kind of rinse this off so you're not making your sample worse than what you started with. And I've also got some aquarium activated charcoal, and we'll see what that does. So we'll try these 4 things out one at a time, and then we'll add them all together for one final trial to see if they work better as a group than by themselves. But it's kind of nice to see what they do on their own. This would be a really great science fair project for anyone who's looking at a grade 9 science fair project. So we're ready to go here. I have all 5 filters set up and labeled, and I've decanted our water sample and taken off the worst of the grit and rocks from the bottom. You can see it's still pretty gross. There's bits of floaty bits, there's some soap suds. So our filters will have to work pretty hard to clean this up. We'll see how well they do. I'm going to add 1 cup to each of our samples, and we'll see how things go. So let's take a look at the results here. Pretty much everything went straight through the cheesecloth, and the cotton didn't really do too much either. When you look at these, you can see the sand actually cleaned up the water the most. It also took the longest to flow through. So I'm kind of wondering if we could slow things down for the charcoal. It might do a better job at cleaning the food coloring and the soap out of there. When I poured it through the combination, you can see the sand got really disrupted, so I think everything just went through pretty fast. So if I was going to do this again, I think I would perhaps not overload the water sample with so much dirt. It's easy to get carried away. I would also make sure I used a thicker layer of sand with my combination there. And I'm gonna maybe take that sample with the sand and see if we can do something with the charcoal and get the green food coloring to absorb.